9:45 at night. All I can think about is like a bean and cheese burrito. Bean and cheese? Yeah, that sounds fire. When's the last time I had Taco Bell? I can't even think. The intrusive thoughts are winning right now. Tell you that much. My intrusive thoughts are fucking getting to me.
I'll tell you what, I haven't had like actual fast food. I can't even remember. I can't remember the last time I had like Taco Bell or something like that. I can't remember the last time that I actually not only went there, but purchased it and then consumed it. Chipotle, do we count Chipotle as fast food?
Fast casual. I don't really put Chipotle in like the same thing as like you went and got Taco Bell. I wouldn't say like
some people do.
No.
It's weird. Some people do. To me, I don't believe that it is.
Yeah, they're just wrong.
Like a Qdoba. I don't believe Qdoba's fast food.
Oh, can we stop?
You want to call up Jake right now?
Cholula chicken though.
We should call Jake up right now and just be like, yo, for Kara.
He'll be like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's like,
Nick?
Nick? Who's that?
We met at the gym like once, dude. Imagine.
I'm like, we shot a video for Rain too. That's weird that you don't remember that. Yeah, I Chipotle, Qdoba, Tony's Tacos.
Yeah, but that doesn't count either.
Doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
So then the line is drawn when it's
like a major corporation with a million different chains. Now I know you're going to say
Chipotle.
I know it's the same thing.
Has it?
But you got to talk about quality because you got to go. You go to Chipotle. I could see fucking the guy in the back, chefing it up.
You can see him mashing the avocado.
Mashing it up. Yeah, and I see him actually cooking.
You love when they mash a good cotto.
Come on. You know I love a cotto. But you know what I love even more is the fact that I could see him actually cooking a real chicken on like a flat top grill.
And they use seed oils though. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, load me up.
Load me up.
Load me up. It's better than them pulling in, you go into McDonald's and they pull out a fucking a sleeve of chicken nuggets out of a yellow tray.
Have you seen the video of the McDonald's chicken nuggets, what they actually look like?
Pink shit?
Pink fluff looking marshmallow stuff?
Oh, man, but I'll tell you what. That was a treat, dog. I could sit there and get a 20-piece, just fucking pop.
Well, when you were younger or currently, like as you're older?
That shit right now. No, I wouldn't do it right now, but like...
Okay, let's say you're not in your health food era. You would go consume chicken nuggets from McDonald's?
Not really, actually. I'll tell you what. The last time I had McDonald's must have been a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm talking years.
I can't even remember the last time I had McDonald's. It might have been when I slept at my cousin Mike's house when I was like, I must have been 17 years old. I must have been 17 years old. I slept over Mike's house. We were all hanging out. Me, him, and Karen. And Karen stole the flag.
When's the last time you had beignets?
When's the last time you had beignets, Nick? And then Karen stole the flag from the gas station.
Karen's great.
It was a big smiley face flag, yellow.
He needed that.
And they used to go to the Bordy Barn. So he said, yo, this would be perfect to bring to the barn. I have to get that. So he goes, Nick, watch out, cover me. And I go, cover you how? I'm like fucking 17 years old. I'm looking around. I go, what the fuck do you mean cover you? And he pulls the car over, gets out of the car, and he... You know Karen. I mean, he like sneaking around and the Indian dude that runs the spots, like looking. He's like, when you know someone's there, you could tell that he knew someone was there. He's like looking around and looking, and then all of a sudden Karen just sprints out. He grabs the flag and he's running towards the car like an Olympic pole vaulter. He's running towards the car and he goes, Nick, get it. And I go, get what? He threw it through the back window.
Javelin.
Threw it through the back window. I held it. We drove back to Mike's house.
Yeah.
And then he put it in Mike's lawn. And we kept it there all night. But he goes inside and he goes, hey, Butter, go outside, check out the lawn. And all you see is the big smiley face flag flipping in the wind. They were dying.
His neighbors must have fucking hated him.
Oh, hated him. That's the last time I believe I had McDonald's. I always did like Burger King better.
I could see that.
When I was younger, I always liked Burger King better. I thought they had better French fries, and I thought they had
the onion rings.
Yeah,
and chicken fries.
And Wendy's, man, you can't go wrong with Wendy's with a Frosty and dip the French fries in the Frosty.
Wendy's I've had much more recent, and I could tell you exactly the last time I had Wendy's. The last time I had Wendy's was when I was working the pop-ups. Because when I would leave, it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Only thing open. And mind you, I hadn't eaten probably in 8-9 hours. I'm like, damn, I got to get some sort of calories in right now. And there would be Wendy's open on the way back home.
Like White Castle in the glowing White Castle in the distance, just going, oh.
And then half the time they were open but not open. They'd just be
It's
like,
weird.
oh,
it's like the
yeah,
front's closed, but like
nothing's
people are in
working.
in the side.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're just sitting there making loot and just doing nothing.
And why is the ice cream machine always broken at McDonald's?
I don't know, but quick McDonald's story for you.
Talk to me.
So it was me, Gary, and this other kid that we used to hang out with.
Just to Gary.
Yeah, I love Gary. Gary's back home. He's working on his tech route.
He was out
career change.
He was out in L.A., right?
He's still coming. Yeah, he still lives in L.A., but he's back home, spending time with mom, fam. He's doing some studying at home. Different environment for him, being around his boys, and me and Gary definitely chopped it up about what he's got going on next. So I'm super super pumped for him. Either way. So this is a phase when we were big into like the house music club scene when we were in the teen nights and stuff and shit like that. So we must have been 15, 16. There's an IDJ now, and I don't know if it's still there, in like North Babylon, let's call it, and we lived in Lindenhurst. His mom, Gary's mom, dropped us off at IDJ now. She wanted to leave. We weren't done looking at all the shit. And I tell them, oh, no, we'll just walk back from North Babylon to Lindenhurst on Sunrise Highway.
Damn.
That is a trip.
You're lucky people are getting beat with 2x4s on Lindenhurst.
I was going to get to that, too. We must have gotten like a mile and a half. I go, how much longer do we have? We had a long fucking time. We hitchhiked. Some guy actually picked us up, and we hitchhiked to fucking McDonald's on Sunrise Highway.
Hey, did you get the guy a burger for hitchhiking, you guys?
No, but he gave us a lecture on how we shouldn't be doing this. So we
you guys shouldn't be out here doing this. Zip.
He had
it's like, oh my God, sir.
All right, you wanted meat, but not that kind.
Crazy. I wanted a burger, not cock.
Yeah. I didn't know McDonald's had hot dogs.
I didn't know they were selling ballpark franks.
Yeah. But So we fucking get this lecture from this guy. He had a convertible something. Like real, like, what the fuck were we doing? 16 years old.
And what time was this at night?
It was actually like in the middle of the day, so it wasn't scary. Okay. But still, like 16-year-old kids.
No, it's sketchy.
Yeah.
Sketchy.
Oh yeah, no good.
Sketchy. The world's sketchier than it is. It's the world's sketchier currently than it was back then.
Well, I almost got abducted when I was a kid, right on my front lawn. I had some fucking weirdo. It was my neighbor. He tried fucking, at the time he was a neighbor, but he tried fucking luring me into his car.
Ooh.
I was like fucking 11 or 12 years old.
Sketchy.
And I ran inside, told my dad. My dad was like, my dad. He goes, yeah, it might not have, really been that. I'm like, no. He was trying to get me into his car. Like, I promise you. But either way.
He promised candy, and I didn't see candy, so I ran.
I can't remember exactly what he asked me, but I know what happened. It was, and I could tell you what the car was. It was a fucking gray, old, like, that grayish gold color on like the older model, like
almost
Toyota
like a tan.
Ford. Yes, it's like a tan, but it was a Ford something, and it had like this weird hatchback bubble-looking car. I will never forget it.
Yeah, there's a lot of molestation going on in a bubble back like that.
And there was a young girl in the back of the car who I remembered was somebody's sister, and I just like, and I told this to my parents. I don't know what they did with the information. Obviously, I'm not old enough to remember that, but that I remember.
What happened? Was the
no
girl,
fucking clue.
No, okay, but was the girl ever missing?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
maybe he fucking had his way and dropped her off. I
have
no fucking
Jesus,
clue. Dude, I really don't know. He was a weird fucking looking cat, and he lives on my. Well, I don't know if he still does, but he lived on my block.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to build rapport.
Oh yeah, close.
That's why creepy fucking pedophiles will go, oh, your mom sent me, and this and that, try to lure kids in.
Exactly.
Bro,
I remember it like it was yesterday. Traumatic fucking experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
Back inside, I was like, "Fuck." But yeah,
welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, I mean, so
episode 81. We just kind of just ripped it,
and we're definitely not here to talk about that.
I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Because we're here.
This is what we do.
Yeah. First and foremost, this will be released on Saturday or Sunday at the latest. Merry fucking Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Are we allowed to say that?
We're allowed to say that. I don't give a fuck.
Happy holidays.
Well, I'll tell you what. So I said a couple of happy holidays to people because I just don't want to get in the debate of like whether they celebrate it or not. And one of the people that I'm friends with, and she was just like, don't say that. She's like, say Merry Christmas and this and that. And even if they don't celebrate, it is what it is. And I
offend somebody anyway.
And I agreed. You're gonna offend somebody anyway. Something that I say, everyone's got something to fucking say on the internet. It's like whatever, bro. Right. I can't please everybody. If you celebrate any other holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate,
you're happy belated.
Let me know after. Just be like, oh, hey, I appreciate that, but I celebrate XYZ. Oh, happy Hanukkah.
Sick.
I hope you had a great Hanukkah. I hope you had a great Kwanzaa.
Break out the dreidel.
That's it.
Let's do it.
Actual question. What do they do during Kwanzaa? Is there gift giving?
I mean,
I'm actually very curious.
have not, and I don't foresee myself celebrating Kwanzaa anytime
Super
soon. Honestly,
curious.
If we have anybody out there that's celebrating Kwanzaa, put me on.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I'm trying to get involved.
I'm
I'm all for, and I like to figure and consider myself a very cultural, diverse person, and I need to get into a Kwanzaa.
a cultural melting pot of a human being.
If you look up cultural melting pot of human being, you're gonna get a picture of me.
Just you, right there. Just sitting there like the Mr. Sausage truck.
You know what that reminds me of? Do you see the TikToks with Aluwale Mark, the guy that fucking
Nope.
Oh, dude, I gotta show you afterwards. He's a fucking great.
Kwanzaa, the Pan-African holiday that emerged in 1996, highlights African American culture.
96, that's it?
Pretty early.
We're
not even 30 in.
We're early.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm older than Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. And heritage in the U.S. from December 26th to January 1st, along with enjoying a feast with loved ones. Love that. It also involves giving gifts.
Okay.
The 25 best
it's a
Kwanzaa
5-day
gifts to
affair.
honor African American history and culture. What are the 25 best gifts?
I don't know. It's gonna be Amazon hot holiday items. It's
Be a hot tub?
Yeah.
It's like what?
It's gonna be like
The craziest items.
It's gonna be an Amazon. What is it? Amazon Alexa.
Yeah, Alexa.
Yeah, they're on sale
Kwanzaa-
for $29.99.
Kwanzaa Kinara candle set.
Okay.
Delight the Kwanzaa decor lover in your life with these taper candles. They'll get 3 red and green candles along with 1 black one to represent the 7 principles. And if they're new to celebrating the holiday, the candles are labeled, making it easier to determine which one should be lit for the day. That's pretty cool.
You know what? There's like an intro to Kwanzaa set.
Yeah,
for
it's a
me.
little interesting.
No, I'm celebrating next year.
Throw
I can
pillows?
celebrate this year.
Kwanzaa throw pillows?
I have a Merry Christmas throw pillow. I can get a Kwanzaa one
you
to
go.
go right next to it.
Colorful gifts for kids, tweens.
Tweens, yeah, in between teenagers and
Fucking stupid.
and children.
Oh my God. Just fucking cool.
It's like the 11 and 12 year
Oh
olds.
my God.
I know.
It's so stupid.
Give a title there.
African print headbands. These are actually fire.
I'll tell you what, if it keeps the hair back, I can get along with that too.
Fire.
Oh, I could definitely get down with
Fire.
those.
That's like, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the tie-dye shit that Gabe got us in
Yes, in Nashville. I'll tell you what, could you imagine seeing me with one of those on at OG, shirtless?
Yeah.
Oh, with just short
Crazy.
shorts on.
Crazy.
Just going nuts on the treadmill. Just pop, pop, pop.
Just enough quad.
Tyler, what is that? A headband? It's a
B
headband, you asshole.
It's a quad. Be more sensitive. What's up with you? I'm out here just trying to show it.
Right.
Be Rooted Gratitude Journal set. Love that. That's always good. 24 karat gold plated brass African map earrings. All right.
Earrings.
We're
Oh, the African. So like their big map of that. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's for all my audio listeners. Yeah, that is just Africa on earrings.
it's crew socks. You just got somebody that we know socks.
Need some socks.
I'll tell you what, the Flavors of Africa book, that looks kind of fire.
That does. Wow.
The
those
wings, the
on
chicken
there?
wings on the front.
What is what's the greenery around?
It looks like
there?
curry, to be honest with you. I feel like don't they use a lot of that's Indian though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What would they use? What kind of spices would they use?
We need to get the book. I have no idea. This is a perfect plug for the book.
It's Nigerian. Okay, so
All right.
yeah, it's from Moroccan spiced lamb.
Oh, we got to have somebody from Nigeria in our circle that we.
I told you I want to go get the fufu or whatever that's called.
Is that the stuff that you have to like?
yeah,
use,
with the you got to dip it and then like hit it. It looks really good. I
probably
can't do the
allergic to it,
I can't do the tripe. I can't do the sheep stomach.
Ugh.
That freaks me out.
Ugh.
I can't.
Have you ever had tripe?
Nope.
All right, so I had tripe at a Argentinian.
Yeah, it's big in South
I
America.
don't know if it's an Argentinian steakhouse or whatever the hell it was. It was in Brentwood, in the middle of the hood. This place was awesome.
Oh yeah,
The tripe, interesting.
it's gamey.
It's gamey and
Yeah, it's
chewy.
gamey. And I like gamey meat, but
It was
that might be
interesting.
too gamey for me.
I'll tell you what, our server, because we were asking about it, our server actually gave it to us for free. He's like, I want you to try it. Like, he was Argentinian. He's like, you got to try it.
What did it taste like?
Delicacy.
What was it like? Soft? Was it like ribbony?
It was a little chewy, but it was like a soft chewy. It was weird, and they do it with chimichurri. It was like,
I like a chimichurri sauce.
who does it? You like chimichurri?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I know. The
because
cilantro's
of
in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good.
Kwanzaa coasters.
Yeah,
but I'll
how do you go wrong with a coaster?
But I'll tell you what, a table runner. Love a good table runner.
yeah.
All right, I got 3 more in me.
And then we'll get to the point.
And then we'll get to the point of the podcast. Yeah, welcome.
We're gonna get there, I
stole?
promise. Oh, that's like a.
I cannot pull that stole off. People be like, "What are you?"
Oh, speaking of
wearing,
things
Nick?
that you can't pull off.
What's going on here? Don't touch my dog.
This is for.
I don't know why I bought that.
I don't know. This is for all of my visual learners on today's podcast.
You know what? I gotta be real with you.
This stupid fucking jacket. Listen to this. That's the buckle on this fucking thing. That's the zipper. That's the fucking zipper on this jacket. Sounds like Jingle Bells, motherfucker. What is this?
Oh, I'm sweating.
I feel like Cameron.
Bro, I gotta be so honest with you.
I feel like Cameron.
I'll tell you what, man. I feel like no, you're not. I feel like Wahlberg in Four Brothers when he's walking out to go fight Victor
yeah.
Sweet.
I'll tell you what, underrated fucking movie.
Great movie.
Fucking jacket.
Yeah, man. Tyler noticed my Young LA jacket, which is horrendous to be honest with you. It's comfy. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, dude,
but,
I'll tell you what, it's comfy.
But I feel like I'm not the right person to wear.
You
that.
gotta be 300
ripped. So I gotta have abs sticking out of the middle of it.
Yeah.
Leave it unzipped.
Get 300 with abs. Yeah,
it's not happening.
This is actually gonna get hot. I'm taking.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get hot as shit. But it's a good little jacket though.
It is a nice little
But
jacket.
it's not for Nick.
I'll keep it wrapped around my
You
waist.
keep it wrapped around your waist?
Yeah.
Like a tunic?
Well, you know what it is? It's got I can actually satisfy my sensory.
Oh yeah, just pet it.
Yeah.
It's like you're petting a chinchilla.
Like Jeffrey. What movie is that? Get him to the Greek.
Get him to the Greek. Pet the wall, the fuzzy wall.
The fuzzy wall. Smoke a Jeffrey and pet Nick's jacket.
Out of nowhere, Harry and David dried fruit set. All right.
I gotta fix the beanie.
All right, I'll tell you what, man. The 54 Kibo? K-I-B-O?
YouTube, the hair does not look great right now.
That's okay. The 54 Kibo Jasmine Oud Smokeless Candles. Those sound... Oud. I love a nice oud. My issue, though, is because of Kenji. Sorry, bro. I don't know if he can have candles in the house because they're supposed to be not good for dogs, especially if they have epilepsy and all these other things.
Which he definitely does have.
Which he does have. So it's like, I don't know if I can burn... I want to burn candles in the house so bad, but I haven't been burning them because of that.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. I mean, anything to limit...
Yeah, any potential issues or whatever, what have you.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, anything to limit some issues.
I'm glad I fixed that microphone, by the way. It sounds
looks
sounds
good,
much
smells
better.
good.
Smells good.
Yeah, it smells like me.
Anywho,
anyway.
let's get into the topics of the episode, which is fasting. It's not intermittent fasting. It's just a prolonged fasting period for a multitude of benefits: insulin reset, insulin sensitivity reset, gut microbiome healing and reset, autophagy, getting rid of dead cells, cancerous cells in the body. You have some studies from Boston University. You have some tips and tricks and stuff like that. We have a couple things to go over. So essentially, we'll cover how we got started with this, why it's interesting to us, and just the benefits of it. Personally, for me, I was always interested in fasting. I started right before COVID. I started training at Bev's super early with my training partner at the time, Adonis. We used to have really good workouts, and we used to go there by like 6 a.m. And basically, what happened was I can't eat even an hour before the workout.
Yeah,
I can't consume food because I get actually like nauseous, and I feel it sloshing around in my stomach. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it makes sense because when you consume food and you eat things, digestion just doesn't happen in 20 minutes. Right. It takes time. So it takes time to go from your stomach to your digestive tract, this and that. And when you're working out, you want the blood flow to go to the muscles. So I never understood the dudes that like eat a half hour before the gym. They go into the gym. It's like, dude, aren't you feeling that in your stomach moving around?
Yeah, I guess because it causes an insulin spike. Right, so they use that as partial to the pump. The transfer of blood to the muscle. So the science behind it, I guess, makes sense, but it's just a comfortability. And I totally agree with you. For me, comfortability-wise, eating before the gym, like I try not to do. No. And I definitely try to, and I have been not eating before we do any workouts recently. I don't eat at all. I have
me
my
either.
Coffee and whatever the case. But
and then the other side, and just real quick, and then we'll get into the actual some of the topics.
Right.
The other thing that I find very interesting is like, from what I've read science-wise, even if you consume carbohydrates and your insulin is spiked from eating and you go into your actual workout, you're not using that glycogen for that workout. This is glycogen from the day before.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so people are eating Rice Krispie treats like influencers and shit, thinking that, oh yeah, I'm getting pre-pumped for the workout. It's like, nah, bro, that's not how that works. And if I'm incorrect in my thought process on the science from what I've read or what I've heard, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear and learn more about it. But the vast majority of things that I've read and I've consumed on that front has all said that it's the day before glycogen that you're using for those workouts. It's not what you're consuming within, like, let's say a 3-hour window, 2-hour window.
You know what? It's funny though what you say about like the Rice Krispies or whatever the case, like that intra glycogen to the workout, like an intra workout. It's actually pretty interesting. So there was a period of time where I was lifting pretty heavy and I was having like Rice Krispies while I was working out, and I found myself halfway through the workout when I was getting tired and eating something. It did. So I don't know if it was maybe just what is it, a placebo effect or whatever the case, but I felt like it did kind of get to me, and my brain started working again. I'm like, all right, I can finish this workout.
Well, that might be different. The brain function and
the stat spike of sugar, I felt like kind of got me back into it in a sense.
Yeah.
I don't know where else it goes.
But as far as stored glycogen in the muscle tissue and muscle fibers, that wouldn't be it. But Meadows was very big on peri-workout nutrition. He was very big on what was his? He had Intra MD when he had Prime Nutrition. He had Intra MD, which was a total peri-workout drink that he would, you put it into the Nalgene bottle and you would just fucking slam it in the middle of your workout and you'd feel great, man.
Yeah.
You really would.
You get that rush. You get that, you feel like.
So I think brain help and stuff like that, there definitely is benefits in terms of that. But yeah, as far as stored glycogen, I couldn't even understand how people can just like slam food before they go to the gym or hit a buffet and like for a cheat meal and then go work out. I'm like, dude, I want to
get the buffet after.
Oh, man, exactly. Just fuel up and then sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I want to do.
Well, that's the natural progression of male and female activity. When you go back to primal activity, right? It's hunt and gather, eat.
Go on. What else are we doing?
Sleep.
Oh, no.
Well, a fucking.
Yeah. Then we're sleeping.
Well, some of us are fucking. Anyway.
Some of us.
And then sleeping. But that's actually funny, and it's a really great segue for us to talk about fasting because.
Before you start.
And I was going to say this too, so please, go ahead.
Before you start, we have to give the general disclaimer. We are not medical professionals.
Nope.
We are not doctors. We are not formally trained.
Correct.
This is not medical advice. You have to, what do you have to say? You have to consult your general practitioner, whatever you want to do, your physician. But, try anything, any of the stuff that we're talking about to try, just try at your own risk and at, your own leisure.
Right. This is not advice. This is not a
Well, it's advice, but it's not medical advice.
It's not medical advice, right? Yeah. This is our experience, our findings based off of things that are published in medical journals. But to kind of even really get us started, it's interesting that I say that because it does, again, kind of to go back, help segue into it. Fasting is a primal activity, right? If you truly think about it. Back in the day, it was you would hunt, you would go out on a day's worth of hunts, right? And sometimes you would not get anything, right? So you're fasting in that time. You're not eating, and you go days and days and days, and it actually causes you mentally to have to go into that fight or flight. What are you going to do? Sharpen up, right? So now that you've gotten your kill, right? Let's say you got your kill. Now you're eating. Your body is going to hold on to that. You are going to make that last as long as you can. So you rest, you recover, and then you get right the fuck back out there. And that is kind of where I've took my first experience with a prolonged fast because I've done, the 5-2, 16-8 fast, right? The 5 days on, 2 days off, the 16 hours of fast, the 8 hours of pure eating. I've done the 18-6, just the opposite. I've done the 12-12. I've done all of that. And then when I did the prolonged fast, I really did feel primal, like in a sense, right? I felt like I was back in time. Like I have nothing. I felt all the feelings of what it felt like to have those fight or flight really reactors go off and just say to myself, wow, like I feel X, Y, and Z, which we'll get into what our feelings were. And that's how I described it to a lot of people. And it truly made a lot of sense.
I don't know if you remember, I started doing like the 18-6s randomly. I just said, I just want to figure this out.
It's an interesting thing to do.
I just want to try it. I want to try it. It felt good doing it. I felt good when I was fasting. I felt light. And then obviously with doing the workouts that we do in the morning, it's easier because it's so early that generally we're not going to want to eat. I don't want to eat before that, 6 a.m.
It's a time killer too. It's something to actually fill the time.
Yeah, exactly. So you do your workout, you're fasted, whatever, and then I just hold it out until 1, 2 o'clock and see how long I could hold it out for. And
Right.
then I did a couple of 24-hour ones, but then the issue, of course, was I was doubling up on activity.
Yeah.
So because I was doubling up on activity and I needed some energy for jiu-jitsu, I needed something. I'd have some honey or I'd have something before jiu-jitsu to break the fast, and then I'd do it, and then I'd eat a real meal afterwards. When Britton came on, he's very big on the OMAD, the 1 meal a day. There's a lot of different takes on that. I haven't done that yet,
Right.
but I definitely have only eaten once a day theoretically.
Yeah,
I just
you don't
I'm not
really-
really religious with any of this. Like that's the biggest thing for me. It's like I'm flexible in all of these different. I really fucking hate to use that word because I don't even know if I'm using it correctly, but modalities, that seems to be like a buzzword nowadays.
Well, that's what a lot of fasting is. It's like a buzz. It's like a buzz fad.
I'm flexible with like a lot of the different things that I'm doing because I don't want to hold myself to one thing.
Right.
I don't want to hold myself to like saying, oh no, the only way to eat is X, because once new science comes out that X is maybe not the best for you, or there's a different alternative that you could do that's better for you, then I look like I'm topsy-turvy. I'm switching shit up.
Prime example, look at salt. Salt being so frowned upon for however many years, right? I'll
salt,
I'll
not
tell you
less.
what, I will shout the hell out of them. I will shout them at Element. And we'll talk about Element in a few minutes here because it's going to be a big part of, what we use during a fast. But salt was so frowned upon for how long?
Yeah.
Don't have salt. Don't
Yeah,
sodium. It's so bad for
hypertension,
you.
hypertension.
And high blood pressure, and if you don't regulate this right, blah, 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 blah. Salt is the most perfect electrolyte for our bodies. Studies are actually, the right studies are now showing the almost exact opposite. You don't want to replenish your body with sugar and artificial sugar.
I've said it a bunch of times on a lot of different episodes, so I sound like a broken record to a lot of people that listen regularly.
Sure.
As in terms of like the electrolytes and in terms of salt and this and that, it's like when we drink filtered water all the time, that filtered water that has nothing in it, because we're generally using a Brita, is the most mainstream one. And then you start getting into the other ones like Zero Water, which is the one that I have, or the reverse osmosis, which I'm going to be investing in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get a reverse osmosis that really takes everything out. I mean, you put a gallon of water into it and you get a half gallon yield from it. So you get a half gallon of clean water, and then the other half gallon goes into the dirty water tank.
Right.
Because it filtered all that bullshit out. But on the reverse, taking the reverse osmosis out of it, because some of those have a fourth filter in there that remineralize the water. Don't worry about that. We're just talking about like a zero water filter. It brings the TDS, the total dissolved solids, down to zero. No, there's nothing in your water, theoretically. There's nothing. It's stripped it of everything. Now that water goes through your body, and as you're consuming it and drinking it, and it goes through and makes its way all the way through to your bladder and through the digestive system, it's stripping your body of some of those minerals that it's been stripped out of in the filtration process.
Right.
And by having that, now you're becoming deficient in some of those things over time.
Which is why you need to add some of those trace minerals.
Exactly. You have to either add the trace mineral drops, or you have to add element salt packs because it has magnesium, potassium, and sodium in it.
Right.
And these things help to just get everything back on track for you. So I just find it interesting that we find all these studies out, and these things that are demonized, meat and salt and all these different things, that's a totally separate topic, the carnivore and meat stuff like that. I don't eat carnivore. I eat more animal-based, though. I feel better when I eat more red meat. I just do. I feel better. I look tighter. I even better than when I eat chicken. Like that works for me, and I feel good doing it, and the amino acids that are in it and this and that. So now they're saying, before we continue with the fasting, now they're saying that there's amino acids in meat that actually prevent cancer on a lot of different levels. But we've been demonizing this meat for so many years. So I say all this to basically wrap up on this part and say you have to try different things. You have to see what works for your body, because what works for Tyler might not work for me. But what works for me might not work for Tyler, or we could see it sit in the middle and see, like on fasting, it works for us. We feel good doing it.
Right. And that's, a big part of how we started fasting to begin with, right? It was something to try, something new to try. I think that the way it actually really started was, you had mentioned that you were doing 24s. I had already done 24s before, whether by purpose or inadvertently.
Mm-hmm.
And we had said to ourselves with our buddy Gabe, "Fuck you, Gabe." Let's do a prolonged one. Everybody's posting about it. Obviously, Dana White was like the first one that's doing 84-hour fast, because Gary Brecka was walking him through it. And honestly, we looked at it. We're like, damn, he got
Tight, man.
Tight.
That,
Dana
that boy,
White's-
that boy got tight.
Yeah, I mean, he's also probably running HGH.
Oh yeah, my man's running some.
Yeah,
as Matt
he's on Miracle Drug.
as Matt Sarah says, hey man, in TRT we piss and dirty. It is what it is.
Listen, and shout out to Matt Sarah. What a funny fucking guy.
Oh, he's the best.
But, you know, obviously we see Dana White and we're talking about it. We're like, you know what, fuck it. Let's give it a try, right? Like, what's the harm in trying? There was a little bit of harm in trying.
Yeah, you know what? So
There's some crazy side effects.
So
you
let's
know?
let's get into this. So
Yeah, for
shorter fasts. What I've noticed is after 18 to 20 hours, I have mental clarity.
Oh yeah.
I have mental clarity. I feel good, and to be quite honest with you, at that point, I really don't crave anything. I don't crave food. I honestly just crave fluids. I crave water. So when I'm doing the fast, especially because my activity level is up, that first 20, let's just block it off for the first 12 hours is easy. Let's just say you sleep for 8 hours. Think about it like that. You sleep for 8 hours. You have what, 4 more?
Yeah, and then you break that up because you're not
getting up.
You're not supposed to eat right before bed, right? So say you eat 2 hours before you go to sleep, and then another 2 hours when you wake up. Right there, now you're there.
Yeah, now you're there. So now you have your 12 hours. Now you go to 16 hours. Okay, maybe you took care of the dog in the morning. You took the kids to school. You did whatever you had to do at a personal level to get your morning started, go to work, do your thing. Food theoretically shouldn't really be a first thought for you at this point because you're busy. You're doing things.
Oh yeah, things to do.
And then so that's at this, let's say 16-hour mark. Then we get to 18, 20. You may start thinking about food a little bit, but there's a weird switch that happens. Sorry, I keep burping. I'm like drinking coffee and water. There's a weird switch that happens at the 18 to 20-hour mark in my experiences, and you can tell me if you've experienced the same thing, that the cravings for food not only go away, but I'm just sitting there kind of just like, I could just keep going. I feel fine. I feel great, actually. I could cruise through this no problem, all the way up to 24 hours.
Oh yeah, I feel the same exact way, and it's funny that you mentioned the 18-hour mark, right? And I'm gonna reference PubMed quite a bit. Really, really useful tool. It's a government-based website, which everybody wants to say what they want to say about the government.
Yeah, they're just published medical articles. So there's your anecdotal evidence of actual science.
Correct. So to reference PubMed, some studies found that short-term fasting can cause mood enhancement, which is reflected in increased positive mood and vitality and decreased negative mood. Awesome. Then it's mentioned in an 18-hour fast among healthy women, which you're not, but
maybe you are.
They did find that, well, I'm saying you personally, they found that fasting can actually lead to increased irritability and increased positive affective experiences such as a sense of achievement, reward, and contrast. So while you feel irritable, you do feel like the sense of pride and like reward has gone up, which was a lot. I mean, again, for me, when that 18-hour mark had hit, and now what I had done in between was, sleep, wake up, whatever the case may be. And we did this right after Thanksgiving. So we had our large meal, balanced protein, balanced fat, and I say balance, it was an overabundance of balance, but it wasn't like we didn't go off the deep end, had 10 million cookies the night before. Mm-hmm. I had my normal Thanksgiving meal, a little bit.
I definitely ate way more than you. I fucking pigged out.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
which is cool because I haven't eaten like that in a long time since we've been on since March.
Oh, yeah.
I have not eaten like that. Yeah. We've gotten cheat meals. We've been able to, but to actually, I can't even say binge, but to just really eat freely and just not give a fuck and just be like, whatever, like it's cool.
Hey, listen,
you need those.
His own. I'll tell you what, I would have eaten a lot more had it been Christmas Eve.
You don't like Thanksgiving.
You don't like Thanksgiving food.
That's another episode. That's fucking communist shit.
Okay. Communist shit, right? So anyway, so my Thanksgiving meal was, a little turkey, a little ham, a little corn, a little broccoli, a little Brussels, a little whatever. So it was a little bit of everything. I had my cannoli, I had my, my coffee, whatever.
Little nosh.
And then I stopped, right? And then the timer starts. But yeah, that 18-hour mark is right when I started feeling, and I had worked out that morning at OG.
We both did.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I felt fine working out then because it was just like a normal kind of ordeal for me, right? I felt at the 18-hour mark, wow, like I'm not hungry, but like, what do I do? Right? Because I feel like a lot of times when you eat, it's purely out of boredom, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, I'm supposed to eat right now. So there's that mental challenge of like, all right, well, we're not doing this today. And we're also not doing this tomorrow, so get comfortable with it, right? Mm-hmm. So that 18-hour mark for me was a turning point. When I got to 24-hour, I felt very rewarded. I was like, holy shit, I did a day. Like, I'm halfway there. And then I said, oh shit, I'm halfway there.
Yeah.
Like you have that that moment within yourself where you're like, damn, can I really do this another? And my initial goal was to go 3 days or 60 hours, excuse me, because I wanted to go until the Giant game, so which was perfectly 60, which is, obviously 2.5 days. But I was like, damn, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I did start to question if I'm going to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was no gym the next day.
Yeah, no,
No
yeah,
shot.
I didn't roll and I didn't go to OG. I had a shoot, so I had shoots and
Some sort of activity.
And truth be told, I mean that was wasn't tough. I wasn't having trouble focusing.
Yeah.
But I definitely just I would have been much more content with staying at home and just laying low.
Yeah. So I think that was one of the days where me and my sister went shopping together. I spent some time with Amanda.
Which is nice because you're able to walk around and just keep your mind off of things.
And that was a lot of what I was doing, just like keeping obviously out of the house and away from the phone, because it's so funny. Like, it's like the red punch buggy. Like, you don't think about, red punch buggies until you start thinking about, you don't see them until you start thinking about them. Every TikTok you roll past and everything that you see on Instagram or whatever the case is food. Yep. Like, you just start noticing all the food and it starts getting to you. You're like, oh man, I'm starving right now, right? So keeping myself off the phone, going out and doing little things. And obviously throughout the day, you're allowed to have water, coffee, tea. That's it. Period. Right? So I was having my
I'd be careful.
sticks.
I'd be careful with the tea. So coffee has to be black.
Coffee has to be black. Thank you for
black.
Yeah, black coffee.
I'd be careful with the tea in case there's added sugars with certain tea packs. So you have to just make sure there's nothing.
Yes.
So just be, aware.
Cautious.
And then as far as your water, just like we were saying earlier, you have to have electrolytes in that water, especially because you're not consuming any food. Mm-hmm. And that's really what's going to keep you from crashing.
Absolutely. The way I split mine, and I don't know if you did the same, but I think we were pretty in line. I would have 2-liter water bottles because I didn't want to totally dilute the salt too much. I had a liter water bottle. I put a stick of Element in there, okay? And I would have 2 of those a day. I would break those up into half parts of the day. If I finished that liter before my half of my day got there, I would have regular water or coffee to keep me kind of just, keeping going. Mm-hmm. Then I'd have the second water bottle with a second stick of Element. Now, that got me to bedtime. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that worked for me. You're better off not using the flavored ones because the flavored ones do have calories.
Yeah, evidently.
Evidently, they do have calories. So it is better if you use raw,
unflavored raw, which I just purchased,
and I did not. So I'm gonna continue to use the flavor.
It's not that big. A deal.
I don't think so.
Or you use trace mineral drops because the trace mineral drops do not have any calories in them.
Correct. So those are your 2 options to add to water.
And I'll put the links in the description of the show notes.
Correct.
For YouTube and for the audio.
Okay.
And you can click it, purchase it on Amazon. Hopefully you get it before then, or you just see what they are and then go to GNC and grab the trace mineral drops or whatever it is.
There's other brands of electrolytes that you could easily grab because I know Element is not very easily found in stores.
It's not. I don't know if Liquid IV has calories though.
I don't know if Liquid IV does either, but I will say Seth Feroz's brand, Axe and Sledge, they have a really great supplement line, period. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of his supplements are great.
Carolacus with
Caged. So those are 2 brands that I will happily say, like, if they have some supplements for electrolytes, which I know Axe and Sledge does because I looked into it. I could recommend that. I know it's sold at GNC. Caged as well. If they have it, definitely grab that before you grab anything else. So
I'm looking up Liquid IV. Not very familiar with their line. Hydration multiplier, sugar free. So I guess that would be it.
Yeah, so that would be it. So those are your options. Element, which
hydration
I will be using.
Yeah, hydration multiplier, electrolyte drink mix. It's sugar free, 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks.
So be careful with that. Just take a look into the ingredients.
No sugar, no
Are they salt based?
I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
0 sugar, no artificial sweetener, 8 vitamins and nutrients. The made with allulose, part of the proprietary and patent-pending amino acid allulose blend.
Not sure I love how that sounds.
I don't know what that is. It just says tear, pour, blah, blah, blah. Smart 0 sugar hydration. The amino acid allulose blend is our latest smart hydration solution used in hydration multiplier sugar-free. Hydrates more effectively than water alone with 0 sugar. Gee, I couldn't figure that out. Welcome to the future of functional hydration, dude. Just give me a fucking
give me the
Liquid IV believes equitable access. Okay, global impact.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm ready to say
I'm kind of out on Liquid IV with this.
So you have some really good stuff. If you have elements, use your elements.
Oh, here it is. Here's
if you have Axe and Sledge, or if you have Caged, I think those are going to be.
So even though it's sugar free, it still has
probably
5 grams of carbs.
Yeah, so that's off the table.
Yeah,
do not use Liquid IV. Do not use Liquid IV.
At least the lemon lime one.
Yeah.
White peach is 5 grams of carbs. Yeah, so
it's off the table.
and this says sugar free. So it's got L-glutamine in it, L-alanine, malic acid.
I think we're giving them too much spotlight at this
I'm good on Liquid IV. I'm good on it.
Yeah, no. So
Taylor just texted me. Shout out Taylor, I love you.
See, fresh.
Good homie.
He owes me a diet plan.
I'm just
gonna keep bothering him about it.
He'll get you one.
Yeah, I know he will. I know he will. But I just want to keep bothering him about it.
All right, so either you're going to use trace mineral drops or you're going to use Element, LMNT Element Soul Packs.
And obviously, maybe not obviously, because I don't think we mentioned it yet. The next time we're doing this is Christmas Day.
Yes.
Now, how is that going to work, Nikki?
That is going to work because we're going to eat freely.
Correct.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm. Like that abundant feast when you go out and make that kill.
Just enjoy. You know what? Eat up. Don't go overboard. I mean, a lot of the people that are doing this with us are athletes, like you've said to me a couple times off air and on air. A lot of the people that are joining us on this fast, which we have, how many people? Like
20.
18, 20?
Like 20 people.
That's amazing.
Big shout out to everybody joining, man.
For real.
Awesome.
I really appreciate everybody coming through. And it's fun.
Seriously.
It's fun. It's a good group activity. We're either going to do a Discord or
it's probably easier to do Discord.
We'll do a Discord. So we'll do a Discord and we'll just have some type of sense of community because there are definitely going to be some people struggling a little bit towards the
100%.
end. And we're just going to talk and just hang out, make each other laugh.
Yeah, chill.
Whatever. Put some memes in there.
Listen, if people are around to hang out and do some shit, cool. But if not, honestly, the biggest thing is going to be resting.
Yes. So the whole thing with doing it on there is because we're going to eat freely. You're going to eat a lot of high carb foods, which you may not normally consume regularly.
Right.
And we want to reset our gut microbiome and we want to reset everything, our whole system from consuming these foods, especially now that we're going right into a new year. Mm-hmm. And as opposed to doing this on New Year's Eve, into New Year's Day type of scenario, we're starting a little early. We want to just get our health in order. We want to make sure that we're feeling good, operating at a high level. And it's just a good way to reset your system and your body. That's why we did it. The last one was after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We ate, we did our thing, and then we were able to reset our whole body and still train and do our thing. Now, training, like you said, becomes very difficult onto that second day.
Yes.
You have to just assess how you're feeling. You can maybe go for a little jog, maybe a little run, whatever. Maybe you can go for a bike ride if it's not fucking freezing out.
Yeah.
Or if you have a bike in your house, like a Peloton, just pedal along just to get some blood flow. Mm-hmm. But you really have to assess how you feel. I knew that I could not roll. I knew that was going to be a problem. I knew that wrestling another grown human being was not in my favor at that time because it's my first one. Maybe my third one, I'll feel good enough to start doing shit like that. I felt fine for the first day. I could train. I could go roll afterwards. I could do everything, normal schedule, and not have any issues with that. So it's all about assessing and being realistic with yourself.
Right.
And at the same time, we were talking this morning, like I canceled OG tomorrow morning. I did jiu-jitsu tonight. I did OG this morning. I've been on this entire week. You got to give yourself some rest.
Yeah, you got to give yourself a break.
You got to give yourself a break because otherwise, not only are you going to get sick just from your immune system just breaking down 100%. And not being able to recover, but your muscles aren't going to be able to recover. You're going to start having joint issues. Like there's going to be a ton of little things that you have to do. So this is almost a good way to just give yourself a break.
Yeah.
So train that Christmas Day, train Christmas Day, train Christmas Eve, and then even train the 26th, and then like the 27th, 28th, you have to just assess how you feel.
Correct.
I broke my fast at night, around 9 o'clock at night, and we're going to talk about our methods of breaking the fast, which we've gotten from
plenty of research on.
Yeah, we've done research on what works for people and what they seem is the best way to do it.
Right.
And I broke my fast at night, and then I rolled the next morning at the competition class at Sarah's. It was difficult. I still felt not
100%.
Not 100% ready to rock and roll,
yeah.
but I was still good, so I still felt okay. I wasn't dizzy or anything like that. You have to assess your body. You have to just see how you feel. If your blood sugar is really crashing, if you're a diabetic or you're having issues like that, you have to be realistic and you may have to cut the fast short. Just be realistic with yourself. talk to the group when we're all doing it together, and
Right.
we're just gonna all help each other through it.
Yeah. I think some things to note going into the fast, right? So different forms of measure to see what you're doing, how you're doing. And listen, for us, when we did the one on Thanksgiving, we weighed ourselves. We wanted to check in to see what we were losing in terms of, water weight and whatnot. And I'm gonna weigh myself right after that meal. Like
Yeah, that's
right
what
when
I
I
did.
get home
That's
after
what
the
I did.
meal, like I'm gonna have the scale there, and I'm just gonna take note. Is it for anything? Not really. I just want to know it. It's just something to.
It's cool. It's cool to see how your weight's shifting. It's very cool to see how your body does this. It's
over the
same-
course of the day too.
Yeah.
At one point of the day, you could be, say 200 pounds, and then you could weigh yourself 4 hours later after drinking a ton of water, and you could be down like 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, and normally when you're drinking a ton of water,
You're putting it on,
yeah, you're
that's all
holding
you-
water
that's all
weight,
you
but
got.
because it's just going right through you.
Yep.
And it's going to be a very interesting sensation when you feel your stomach actually at
Be
its
empty.
empty.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
not just
Very
not just a day of not eating, a half a day. When you start hitting that second day mark, your stomach, you actually like feel it just totally tight.
Yeah.
And when you drink water, you feel the water go like and hit the stomach and go right through. It's very, very, very interesting feelings.
Yeah, I mean, some other expectations, right? Like, be ready for some of the mood swings that come along with it. I mean, I felt it. I was on the phone with Gabe and Nick, and I couldn't listen to them anymore. I don't know what it was. I was just like, I'm tired of these two.
Yeah, he
I'm
was
like,
tight.
see ya.
He was tight.
They weren't even saying anything about me. They make fun of me pretty much all day. Didn't get that.
Hit that red button. It's okay.
I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this. But that's part of the reason why we say to rest.
At the same time, you're also grown ass humans, so don't take it out on other people.
Correct. Yeah, don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Just be cool. It's not that serious. You'll eat. You'll break your fast. You'll feel good. You'll feel great again. Just give yourself some time, and that's really what you gotta do.
Right. And the other thing in going into it as well is have a goal, but realize if this is your first time hitting a longer fast, like for me, I had a 60-hour goal. There was no way I was doing another 12 hours. I just couldn't. There's no way. So have that goal, and if you don't reach it, like, hey, like you did some hard shit either way. Like it's not easy to do that. We've been so programmed to eat every 6, 8, whatever hours that you are.
What's the
right?
percentage of the population that'll never fast? Because I know I've definitely seen that statistic somewhere.
That's a really good question. I really don't know. While you look that up, what I will say, as we go into our next phase of we talked about what you're going to have before the fast, but now I'm going to tell you guys essentially what we did after our fast, what we looked at, what had worked. So I know Nick and Gabe broke their fast with bone broth.
Mhm.
Now, I actually took a picture so that I wouldn't forget the name of the brand because it's a very good brand, Kettle and Fire. You can find it at grocery stores.
Yep.
It's 100% grass-fed. You get the bone broth, the one with the red cow on it. Grass-fed from grass-finished beef bones. No preservatives. I'm pretty sure it's an organic product. It's a very high-quality brand of bone broth. Heat that up, little sips. I can't stress it enough. When I broke my fast, I did not have bone broth. I broke my fast with sunflower butter because I'm allergic to everything under the sun. I had sunflower butter.
I actually like sunflower butter better than okay, so real quick,
I've heard the same thing.
side
from
note on
people,
that.
by the way.
I said it with Matt on the last episode, y'all. If you turn into that, you guys will hear us just briefly talk about some foods because Matt actually grew up selling organic produce and groceries and whatnot. And there was a lot of things that I read about peanuts being high in mold because of the way that they're harvested and this and that. And they're also not a nut; they're a legume.
A legume.
So I've been trying to get into eating almond butter and stuff like that. It's okay. I do like the sunflower butter. It does need sugar.
So
I bought the one without the sugar. It does need a little bit of sugar to sweeten it up.
I would agree with that. I have to look at so I do like the organic Stop and Shop brand. I love that stuff. Either way, that's what I broke my fast with, and I did a teaspoon because when that food hits your mouth, you get the sensation of euphoria, right? Even with I can imagine it was the same thing with the bone broth. But when the spoon hit my mouth, I was
I
like,
sipped the bone broth for
"Holy shit."
15 minutes. I sipped it for 15 minutes. I heated it up.
You got to get that. You got to get your stomach working again.
Yeah,
you got to because you're reintroducing stuff after a long time,
And it's tough because you're going to want to
wanted
binge.
it.
You're going to want to eat everything in sight.
Do not
do not do that because you'll fuck yourself up and
you're gonna get sick.
There is a term which I wish I wrote it down. There's a term that people for longer fasts mostly, but people that actually get sick from consuming too much food because their body hasn't consumed food in X amount of days.
Right.
So just be very careful about that.
Yeah, 100%. And going on that topic as well, the diet after, which I think was probably one of the most commonly asked questions, is what am I supposed to eat after, right? Because I haven't eaten something in so many days. We've done the research, and I wish I had quoted it from specific people to give them the credit. But you choose one or the other. Choose your carbs or choose your fats. It's better if you choose your fats.
And this is getting paired with protein.
Paired with protein, correct. So you want to choose the two. You don't want to have fats and carbs together. Regardless of whatever, if you have a balanced meal of carbs and fats, that is what makes you fat, period. That's what puts fat on your body, because now you have two sources of your energy sources that you're putting into your body. That makes you fat. You can look it up. That is in medical journals. That's in science journal. Fat and carbs are what make you fat when they're eaten and consumed together in high excess.
Yeah, in high excess amounts, basically that's a lot of the arterial sclerosis, like all the arterial buildup that you see and all these different issues. That was something that James, my coach, he had talked about a long time ago, way before any of this shit was around. And he had said the way that you get sick like that, or you have any issues with what did he used to say? He used to say with any type of like plaque buildup and stuff like that, it's when you're having a high carbohydrate and high fat diet.
Correct.
There really has to be one or the other in terms of the high amount. So that's why keto works if you're keeping carbs super low to basically nothing.
Right.
That's why, a higher carbohydrate diet, when I was in my off season with him, I was eating 600 grams of carbs, but my fat stayed moderate. It wasn't anything crazy. I was like 50, 60 grams of fat a day.
Even still, I mean,
yeah, but
cutting diet, it's pretty high.
No, that was off season. That was
off season.
Yeah,
okay,
I was at 600 grams of carbs a day.
That's a lot.
Yeah, did you think about how fucking pain in the ass it is to eat that much food?
You try eating it in Skittles. I mean, that's
what I used to do. I started having to eat Pop-Tarts and shit. So
yeah,
that's a long time ago.
Right.
But anyway, that is just something that you have to keep in mind. The fat is going to be a better fuel source for you coming out of the fast. It's going to be better metabolically for you versus the carbs. Carbohydrates, they could be hit or miss with the terms of quality in them. If you're just having regular rice, what type of bread are you having? If you're having like a real homemade sourdough, that's fine. But generally, there's going to be a lot of extra added shit in other types of breads. There's a lot of things you have to worry about. So our best advice would be you break the fast with bone broth, sip it for 15 minutes, see how your stomach feels, and then maybe have a spoonful of like an almond butter or a peanut butter, or not a peanut butter, but almond butter or sunflower butter, whatever your choice of in a butter type situation like that is. Yeah. And then you want to assess. You want to see how you feel. One of the big ways that a lot of people have said that they break their fast is with steak and avocados or eggs, something like that. I ate a lot after my fast. Nothing happened to me because I went right back to being crazy active the next day, but I definitely ate too much after my fast. I had the bone broth, then I had 2 tablespoons of almond butter, and then I had probably another hour later, I had a full bag of cauliflower rice with a ribeye and a full avocado.
Yeah, which is a lot of food.
It was a lot of food. Looking back on it. And then I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up like 3 hours later and I had 2 slices of sourdough bread. So I definitely know going into this next one that I'm taking it easier coming out of it. Nothing happened to me bad, but it could have maybe I held extra water the next day because I consumed the things that I wasn't supposed to, the extra carbs that, along with the higher fats. Yeah. So things to keep into consideration.
And I wanted to elaborate, and thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on why fats over carbohydrates. Right? So as you're in your fast, things you'll notice, because now you've been so carbohydrate deprived, and this is, I'm going to quote from PubMed again. So in part of their study, which is intermittent fasting and metabolic conversion, right? So now we're not doing intermittent fasting, we're doing, longer steady state fasting, or however they define it. So I apologize, I don't have that in front of me. But glucose and fatty acids are the main energy sources for cells, right? After a meal, glucose is used for energy, and the fat is stored in adipose tissue in the form of triglycerides. During fasting, triglycerides are broken down into fatty acids, glycerin to provide energy. Now, this is where the interesting part comes. Then, the liver converts fatty acids into ketone bodies, which provide the main energy source for tissues, especially the brain. Now, in any keto-based diet, you'll have high fats and low to no carb, right? You're already in a state of ketosis. we use the app Zero, which is what we use as our clock, but it also has a lot of really interesting keto-based facts when you're catabolic, metabolic, in ketosis, deep ketosis, and the different levels of ketosis.
And you can also get the strips that you urinate on.
Yes,
that will tell
tested
you
purely from urea. But I'll tell you what, and I'll never forget, I was in such a deep state of ketosis, not during this fast, but when I was doing my prep many years ago. I walked right past Paul, and he was like,
Oof,
he's like,
ammonia.
He's like, who the fuck smells like ammonia? He goes, Tyler, get over here. And he's like, blow a fucking in my face. He goes, and then I'll never forget Paul's look. He just go, whoa, yeah, you're in ketosis.
I'd have been like,
Smelled like pure ammonia.
I'd have been like, yo, shut that whore mouth.
Oh yeah,
Shut that whore mouth.
Oh, I think everybody wanted me to shut my mouth at that point. It was bad. But it's funny because that's the state you're going to be in. So coming out of it, staying lower in the carb, which if you're looking to jump into some sort of diet to get yourself regimented, maybe try something that's lower in carb and keeping your energy sources purely from things that are getting converted in your liver to keep you in a state of ketosis. Mm-hmm. And it's a great energy source. I'll tell you what, when I was training ketosis, I still lifted heavy. I still looked great. And that's part of the whole process of what you're going to be going through. And listen, don't be surprised if your breath smells like ammonia after 2 days, right? Because you're going to get into...
Scrape that tongue, brush those teeth.
Oh, yes. That's a big tip.
Scrape that tongue, brush those teeth.
Yeah, and trust me, it's going to happen because if you smell like, ammonia, it's for a reason.
Shut that whore mouth.
Shut that whore mouth. So that's kind of what and then for my meals afterwards, so I had that's how I broke my fast, was with the sunflower butter. But after that, probably like a half hour to 45 minutes after that, I'm like, damn, I got to eat something because now my body started feeling like, all right, we
need some food.
We had a little taste.
Yeah.
So I had 3 ounces of 90-10 grass-fed beef.
You could actually go fattier than that.
Yep, you could even go fattier than that. That's what I had. To be honest with you, I wasn't totally prepared. I had some goat cheese, so there was other forms of fat, and then a lot of really good things for gut health, pre and probiotics. Excuse me, I couldn't speak there for a second. And a lot of fermented foods, right? So your pickles, pickled red onions, you name it. All of these
kimchi. I'm big on kimchi.
Yes, kimchi, all really good for you.
My fridge stinks of kimchi because I have 4 bottles in there.
Yeah,
and they're definitely leaking. Like not.
Yeah,
but they're just every time you open them and you close them again, it's like
gas up.
Yeah, man, son, I got the kimchi fridge now.
I mean,
girls come through, they smell. They're like, "Nah, it's the kimchi fridge.
Kimchi, baby.
Come over here. I'll give you some probiotics.
You want some kimchi?
Prebiotics.
Yeah. Listen, I love
get that gut microbiome all healthy.
I love a good poppy. I wish they would sponsor me. God,
poppy?
I love poppy. They're so good. Anyway, so
the poppy, the sodas,
yeah. Sodas, yeah.
I was thinking of the poppy seed muffins we were having a debate on the other day.
Well, that's another story for another day.
Up.
Anyway, fermented foods also really great for you post-fast.
Yep, sauerkraut.
So I had, sauerkraut is the big one. Big one.
There's a very good brand from Trader Joe's. I don't know the name of it, but there's a lot of people that say that is a very, really, really good quality brand, made it like almost homemade style made. But the kimchi that I buy is mother-in-law's kimchi. It's very good. They have spicy, they have Napa cabbage, they have all the different types.
Yeah.
And it's very good. What I do for me...
I would probably stay away I'm sorry to cut you off. I'd probably stay away from spicy afterwards.
Yeah, you could.
Because, your stomach's going to be very sensitive. What I did for my beef, and I'm glad you say this, very light pepper and salt. I've already been having salt. Put the pepper on there. I had a little bit of the cheese, and I'll tell you what, it really hit my stomach kind of crazy. And I had this on a lavash wrap, so I had some carbs, but lavash
it's okay.
Very low. But it was a very low carb.
It's not that big a deal. The salt though is important.
Very important,
and the quality of the salt is important. Don't just get like a Morton salt. I've been using Celtic sea salt. It's like a buzzword too. Everyone on TikTok has been fucking grabbing it up.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, man, health food stores, the one Wild by Nature in Huntington Village has it. That's where I go shopping some of the time.
Trader Joe's, I think, has it.
Trader Joe's probably has it, but the Celtic salt, the blue bag, I get that. I just sprinkle it on all my food, my eggs, everything like that. And the minerals in that are supposed to be way better than Himalayan pink sea salt.
Yeah.
So I sprinkle that in there, and I feel good doing it.
I'll tell you what, while you're on the topic of Himalayan pink sea salt, really great hack. Not so much that I've been doing for fasting, but if you're going to do intermittent, shorter fasting, 16 to 18, instead of the pre-workouts in the can or any pre-workout powders or anything like that, so sorry to all my friends that own supplement companies, I have been doing pink Himalayan sea salt, beetroot capsules that I got on Amazon. I don't really remember the brand, but it was a very highly rated brand with thousands and thousands of reviews, and black coffee. And I get the same, if not a better pump, very great mental clarity, right? Because they're vasodilators, both beetroot and the salt, and the caffeine from the black coffee. So that's just one thing I wanted.
I've been taking L-Arginine, nitric oxide.
Yeah, pump the capsules.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the capsules, but not even for the workout, just for in general, for just a better nitric oxide supply in your body.
You just want to walk around with nice veins in your
That's
arm.
it. And honestly, honestly, dudes, if you're having like ED problems, which I mean, I'm not.
Beetroot also helps with that.
Yeah,
big time.
I'm not, but that is also something that you use for that. You use a nitric oxide supplement, so pretty cool. Thorne, shouts to Thorne. I would definitely love a contract from you guys because I also just started taking your methylated folate tonight. I gotta be honest with you, for 10 o'clock at night, I'm pretty.
Yeah, you got some energy.
I came. It was before the coffee too.
Right? No. Yeah,
I feel pretty good, man.
I took a nap.
It might be anecdotal. I took a nap earlier too, but it was an hour before jujitsu. I took the nap, but dude, we've been going since fucking 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Anywho,
every fucking.
So let's wrap this because I don't want it to be too long for everybody.
For sure.
We're just literally hitting an hour. So
oh wow,
yeah,
it goes fast.
It goes so fast. I love talking to you. Anyway, I do. I love talking.
That was so cute. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
But anyway, so we're excited to do this fast with you. Do you have anything else for everybody?
Yeah, I had a couple other things that I wanted to mention, and I will be quick with it. So post fast, especially for this one, it's gonna be really good and something to be mindful of your energy levels after, right? So my first trip to the gym afterwards wasn't the easiest. The second one, my energy levels were through the roof now that I had some food in me. So keep in mind, you're not going to be able to go back and be Superman to get yourself
into it again.
You're not going to be Superman when you first come back. We're going to send out everything for the group. Super excited that everybody does that. I think one of the main things I wanted to talk about, just in terms of benefits from the fast, both men and women, is when you're doing this, you are removing your body of dead cells, right? Majority of these cells are cancer cells.
And use that buzzword.
Yes, apophagy. Right?
Autophagy.
Autophagy. Excuse me.
It's okay.
It's late for me.
That's okay.
So autophagy, that is the clearing of dead cancerous cells in your body. I'll admit it. I was in the shower and I actually shit myself in the shower. So I did have a weird bowel movement, and it was.
Oh, you are gonna have weird bowel movements.
You're gonna have weird bowel movements.
I was weird. I didn't have any.
I had strange bowel movements.
I didn't have any. Remember, I just restarted. I was like, okay, that was it.
Be mindful.
Gabe
of it.
had weird bowel movements.
Gabe also had them. I'll be honest with you. I was glad I was in the shower. I did. What I thought was and it was like waterish, black, whatever. It's gonna look strange.
Yeah, because your body's just pushing out the rest of the stuff.
Yep. I would go a little bit more into that, but I know I want to keep this short and tight. So also really great things for you guys to look up. The other really great benefit of this is the actual trigger of human growth hormone in your body.
Yeah.
Like this is
1,000% increase.
This is a crazy increase to human growth hormone. It is a awesome side effect of this. And a lot of what it does is actually repairs a lot of the scar tissue in your brain. And you'll notice that afterwards, because I found myself being in a better cognitive state during and after. You're going to feel like you're tired and you're going to have dips,
valleys,
but you're going to see quite a bit of a change in that period. Again, I mean, I would say set your goals. I'm going to try and do 72. If you want to do less, do less.
You're doing 72?
I'm going to do 72.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm going to try and do 72.
Cool.
And rest up, man.
Okay.
We're gonna have fun in the group.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I guess I'll create a channel tonight. I'll make you a moderator on it, and then we'll start inviting people in to start talking about everything. We'll drop the links to the episode when it drops.
It's not too late. If you hear this, we're gonna probably release this on
Saturday. Probably. I'm gonna release Matt's episode tomorrow. Like I said, I ran out of fucking space on my computer, so now I finally dumped all his footage on there, and I have to dump all of that onto my hard drives. It's a mess being a videographer and having all this data. All this, it's crazy. I go through terabytes every month. It's so insane. But
long and short of that is if you're hearing this before Christmas,
join in.
It is
Let us
not
know.
too late. DM.
Or do it yourself. Like, if you don't have to join our group, but it's better to do it in a tribe environment with everybody hanging out.
That's the buzzword I was going to use. It's a tribe, baby.
That's it. So on that note, I appreciate y'all for fucking with us and for fasting with us.
For fasting with us. I'll tell you what, we went from Braciole Brothers to lean ground beef brothers.
Yeah, 98.2.
No, I'd probably say I'm more like like an 87-13 kind of guy right now. I am looking pretty good. You know,
Cuz.
you see the locks,
I see 'em.
YouTube? You see the locks?
I see him. They look gorgeous.
God,
Don't you put your headphones on my microphone. You put
the
them over there.
Fuck up.
All right.
God, I'm tired of you.
Yeah, let's go to sleep. It's
Yeah,
10:48.
I actually have to go to...
Because you have class tomorrow morning.
I have class.
Yeah, I do not. I canceled that.
God, Evan, you are a fucking sick bastard.
On that note, I appreciate y'all fucking with us and fasting with us. Peace.
Peace.